let's go into a Teddi Mellencamp story. How about that? I found this, interesting. There's good news and then there's sad news. Well, the good news about Teddi is she finally does get some good news. I did talk about Teddi Mellencamp earlier in the week. And once again, I'm going to put this out here. Teddi Mellencamp and I have a personal relationship for years and years and years. I've known Teddi since before Oliver, my younger son, was born. So I'm going to be a little bit more sensitive always about Teddi. And if you come into my comments and you start saying, like, she deserves it, she's a liar, she ruined it, like, you're blocked. Okay? Sorry. I won't handle that kind of stuff here on my channel or in my comments. There are some disgusting comments still coming into my channel about Teddi Mellencamp when she is fighting for her life. No, won't fly, not okay. I was so disgusted when I reported the story when I was still in Chicago about the fact that she got this Us Weekly magazine cover. It was such a sad story. And that was before she found out she got 4 more tumors in her brain. And I got comments saying like, OMG, Donna, she is blah, 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 blah. I was like, who are these people? May they get judged the way they are judging Teddi, who was on The Housewives. Like, what? God forbid anything happens to me and I get judged the way that these people are judging a reality star. As if she's like responsible for, world wars. It's shocking. Hold on, I have to take a sip. I just don't understand that. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a human being with a heart and I'm a mom. And this woman is a mother, a young mother. She's 43 years old. Like, shut the F up. I can't handle that. Like, you're out of here. If you don't, you have to have a little bit of a heart for someone who's literally in the fight for her life right now, in a very, very scary fight for her life. She said in that interview, and I beg that you watch the Us Weekly YouTube interview. It's actually so sad. She talks about, I don't know if any of you guys actually watched it, but she talks about, and remember, when she's doing this interview, this is before she finds out that she actually has 4 more tumors. Prior to her knowing that her fight is even worse than it was. She was a little bit more positive in this moment. Okay. I'm going to show you just like a portion of it. So you recognize, for those of you that are still like non-believers, how serious this is.
Headache. And then probably about 3 weeks before we ended up finding out what was going on, I had self-diagnosed myself with I was having migraines. So I went to one of my best friends at the horse show and I'm like, Akal, please help me. I know you have migraine medication. I was so edgy because the pain had become something I had never felt before. And in the emergency room is where they diagnosed me with multiple brain tumors. Cut to, we call Kyle and we're like, how we get into Cedars? And she called around and found a way for us to get in. She's like, but you need to get there by 9 o'clock. And I'm like, it became news to me as post radiation, you lose chunks of your hair anyway. So I'm gonna have to do a second shave. But Cruz made it a little better because he's like, Mom, we can get all the same haircuts. And I'm like, that's so great for you. It's terrible news for me. Great news for you, buddy. I don't think when Vanessa shaved my head, I cared that much. But something that hit me really hard was the first time when I went to go work out. And like, I'm sitting there bald and my entire like body and everything looked completely different because the steroids really affect you. And I tried to run and I couldn't. And that's when everything was like, oh my gosh, Teddi, you are no longer where you were. You can't just jump right back into this. You have to slowly work your way up. And that was pretty devastating to me. I was, at Barry's boot camp, like crying. And the poor guy's like looking at me like, you good? I'm like, no. It actually happened between Edwin and my dad, not me.
So she's clearly like trying her hardest to be positive. She's struggling. There's no question she's struggling, okay? And she's going through it, guys. She's going through it. And for anyone in the comments right now, I see your comments of people that are struggling and going through it, and I'm sending you all the love, okay? All the well wishes and all the healing, and for all the dosers. Cancer is affecting every single one of us right now, currently. I'm too tired to like go through this because I could cry. Obviously, I'm very affected by my heart is hurting. But my love for everyone that's going through this right now, all of us who are being touched by this horrible disease. So it doesn't fly. Do not come in my comments and talk shit about Teddi or of anyone that is struggling with illnesses that are out of their hands. Okay? That's my warning of the day. Teddi Mellencamp finally gets some good news, though, after confirming her stage 4 cancer diagnosis. She did ring the good luck bell to honor her last day of radiation in a video that she shared on Instagram stories. She does have 5 more rounds of immunotherapy to go. She's doing her best. Follow her on Instagram. She's on her stories as much as possible, and she's trying her best to be as positive, but she's being vulnerable. She's being honest. She goes, sometimes I am so alone and I'm so scared. And sometimes I'm getting up and I'm walking when I can, and I'm trying to move when I can. She said that she is, getting through every single day as well as she possibly can. Now, yesterday, her separated husband, but they're very much still close, Edwin, who I really, really like and I have a friendship with as well. He had a podcast with Eddie Judge. That's Tamra's husband. They have a podcast together, and they opened up and talked about what he's going through. And listen, Eddie is a really good guy. He's a really nice guy. Do I think they had a perfect marriage? Absolutely not. But he is a good guy. And he spoke about kind of how he's been dealing with everything. And he is sharing how he handled the delicate task of keeping the young children informed of what's going on with Teddi. He explained that he and Teddi prefer to be upfront, reasoning that it was better to be direct with them rather than letting them learn the news on the internet. No, so they have kids my kids' age. They have an older daughter that's Edwin's from his previous wife. So she's a teenager. Then they have Slate, who's pretty much Dylan's age, my son's age. So like 12, 13. They have Cruz, who's exactly a little bit older than Oliver. So our kids are very much the same age. And then they have Dove, who's like 4 or 5. He says he would stay home with the kids and try to keep them confident, although they were concerned and scared. Then he says, I tried my best again to not sugarcoat it too much. He said, I called it the way it was. It's like, hey, there's some tumors that your mom has in her brain. And I said, it sounds worse than what it is, but this is what I think it is. This is what I think is going to happen. This is sort of how I think we're going to deal with it. And this is why I think I'm confident that she's going to make it through. I don't know. I just got really sad. It's just really sad to think about a family and young kids. You guys have to remember that they're like I just was mentioning that she has kids my kids' age. It's really sad, you guys. It's a really horrible thing. I just hope she's okay. I mean, I know that she's not okay. That's the thing. She's not okay, and she has no way of knowing if she's going to be okay. Sorry. I told you I'm not very good today because of no sleep. But I need to talk about this because this is important news, and I also don't want to like not talk about it because I don't want to like pretend it's not happening. She says that she's preparing her children for the worst. She has talked to her kids about it. She said she's like made her will together, and she said something in her. I can't even like look at the camera because I don't want to look at your guys' comments. Like I'm scared to look at your comments. So I'm just gonna look here. She said that she said that she's like, it's gonna sound narcissistic, But like, I don't want them to go on without me. It's just, I can't even like imagine. Anyway, he says, no matter what, I will always love Teddi, and she's been a big part of my life. And I like taking care of people. It's just what I do. So it wasn't even like a question, he said. Anyway, I'm praying for them. I'm really praying for them. I am. And like for anyone, this is not just a Teddi thing. This is like literally such a big problem in the world. So many young families, so many families in general being torn apart. It's just really scary because I talked to, my best friend Valerie is her very close friend, one of her best friends. So I'm so close to it. It's really scary. I just think about my kids. Like my kid plays football on the same football field as her kid. And I just like couldn't imagine my little Oliver not having a mom. So I just like always think about that. I don't know why I'm getting too sensitive and vulnerable with you guys. I'm sorry. Should I cut this shit out? I'm going to cut it out later. Okay. Anyway, please pray for Teddi and don't dare ever say something mean on my comments about her.